Welcome to another Creative Spin podcast. And today we have somebody all the way, far away, the other side of the rainbow in the Netherlands. We have Lila. Welcome to the podcast, Lila.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, and we're going to be talking about all things related with YouTube, content creators, the magic of video, Christmas trees in the background there. We're going to talk about all of this stuff. So let's hit that intro, and then we're going to get back.
Let's do it.
Today's podcast is brought to you by Workplace One, a company offering boutique private offices, co-working spaces, and virtual office solutions, as well as meeting rooms in the best neighborhoods of Toronto and Kitchener-Waterloo. Ideal for entrepreneurs, companies, and passionate business people. Workplace One is where you want to be with your business. For more information, go over to workplaceone.com. We are back. And, I have to say, Lila, I love your mug.
Thank you.
You've really got the Christmas spirit going on.
Christmas spirit. This is being recorded just before Christmas. It might be coming out after Christmas.
Yes.
We're going to have to manage that.
Let me take a second. I'll take it all out of there.
Please. I mean, what were you thinking? I mean, look at all our Christmas decorations in the back, too. So we're good. We're good. We're all into the same spirit. So, Lila, how are things going with you all the way in the Netherlands? How's the weather there?
The weather is fine. It's been raining a lot, but that's typical for the Netherlands. It's basically the same as the UK. It rains.
A lot of rain.
It rains, it pours, but it's okay. I mean, I cannot complain. It could be worse.
There you go.
Yeah, that's the right mentality to have.
Exactly.
I try.
So Lila, you are a content creator on YouTube, and we've been following each other for a while now, and we've been following your journey and watching your videos, which are very cool. And all you guys out there, if you haven't watched her videos, I mean, what are you waiting for? You know? So how did you get into all of this? Give us your little origin story into the video creation on YouTube.
Video creation on YouTube. Okay, so I started doing some client work, some video stuff, and there was this part of me just a little bit unfulfilled, I guess, and I just needed an outlet. And so basically it started for me as some type of therapy almost, if that makes any sense, just for myself as a creative outlet. As something is making a noise in my house. I don't know what it is.
It's probably one of those cats.
I'm using it. But yeah, and I also really wanted to use it as an opportunity to meet other people that like the same stuff as I do. So that is basically why I started, and I started in June. So I'm very new to all of this, actually.
In June, wow.
Yes.
And how has that process been? I mean, you've got quite some followers lately, and that's been fun to watch you grow in the YouTube sphere. What has it been like to get all of this, all of these people following you, all of these questions, all of these new things going on? Talk to us a little bit about that.
It's been a crazy ride, because when I started, I never really thought about growing or any of that stuff. I was just like, you know what? This is just my little space on the internet where I do whatever I do. And I will hopefully meet some people. And well, it actually started from the beginning. I started getting like a few subscribers every week. And I think we actually met very early on YouTube.
I think it was when you were still in the 500s or something like that.
Yeah, that's crazy. So it just went from like, I started with like 36 subscribers at the beginning of June. And then it just started growing and growing. And then I went to Belfast to Power Video, and that is where I met Cody, for example. And that is when it really started growing. Mm-hmm. And as it started growing, it was a lot. Like, I went to Belfast, I went to LA, I met all these people, and at VidSummit, a lot of people knew me, which was crazy to me, because I was like, who am
awesome.
I think I had like, what was it, like 1,000 or 1,500 subscribers or something? I was like, people are not supposed to know me. What is going on? But yeah, it's been crazy. Like I get so many positive comments and feedback, and I'm really loving it. And I've met so many great people. Like it's been
So going to LA and Belfast and meeting all of these creators, how inspiring was it for you to meet all these different people that you've been watching online? How did that like? Was that a nice little boost of energy for you to keep on going and doing more?
Oh my God, so much energy because right now I'm actually lacking that energy because I'm just a little bit uninspired not having anyone around that is doing the same thing. And that was the best thing about going to Belfast and LA. When I went to Belfast, that was the first time that I actually met vloggers in real life that were just as weird as me, walking around with their camera the entire time. And that was so liberating. It felt really liberated to be around people that like the same thing that you do and do the same thing that you do, and you don't need to feel awkward or weird. Or also the fact that they know how to handle a camera. That's very nice as well, because some of the people that, like some of my friends here, they're not into photography or videography. So teaching them how to use a camera takes a little bit more time than someone who already knows how to use one.
Yeah, it's always cool to be able to speak to like-minded people, right? People that understand what you're doing, because normally people don't get.
Yeah.
I mean, we get the same thing when we're talking about podcasts and recording videos. People are like, "Why are you doing that? What is it for?" And it's always cool when you can get together with a group of people that understands that.
So just to follow up quickly, so you haven't had any sort of like formal, I guess, schooling or training in video production or anything like that?
No, I'm completely self-taught.
Nice.
That's awesome.
We like to hear that.
Yeah.
So,
That's the best way of learning, I think. I like
Yeah.
that. I like the challenge.
and when did you start like playing around with
Yeah.
video? When did that happen? Obviously, YouTube must have come afterwards, or did it start at the same time?
No, so when I was younger, I was already interested in movies and like making my own movies, and I recreated this video clip. Like I would watch it like not even maybe even 100 times to know every angle, and I recreated it from every angle and everything, and I filmed everything, and I've done some other stuff as well when I was younger. But then basically I started studying, so I kind of, went the responsible route, and I didn't really pay attention to my passion anymore. I kind of lost that spark. And then actually at the beginning of this year, so the beginning of 2019, that is when I really when I got my new camera and I just started doing it again. And then in June, I was like, I am missing something. And that is when
Yeah.
I started my YouTube channel.
That's awesome, man. We noticed obviously that you like to do a lot of the tutorials and on Premiere, right?
Yes.
So-
That's the big question as for
Colin has the question on that.
Yeah. Coming from the video editor side, how come you're choosing Premiere? Because you edit and work off of a Mac, right?
No, PC actually.
Oh, okay. So that makes more sense. Have you
Okay.
had an opportunity to try out any of the other editing softwares, or have you been natively on Premiere your whole sort of career?
I know that when I was younger, when I was like, what was I, 14 years old or something, I would work in Sony Vegas. So I've worked with
Yeah.
that. But
That's the common starting ground, eh? I feel like most people, I'm the same way. That's where you start.
Windows
kinda.
Movie Maker, and then it's Sony Vegas,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So when you're done with those star and wipe transitions, you're like, I need something more, and you go for Sony Vegas. Yeah, that's what I did. And then basically when I decided to pick up editing again, and so I've been editing for a little bit longer than the beginning of this year.
Mhm.
I don't know. I just felt like Adobe was the right fit for me because I already used Photoshop and things like that over the
Okay.
years. So it was just kind of like, it just made sense. I was just like, okay, let's get Premiere, and I'm very happy with Premiere.
So the videos that you're doing in terms of tutorials, are these all things that you wish you had when you were starting off? Is that the concept behind it? Or is it just, as you're learning new things, you want to spread that knowledge to other people?
Definitely the second one. The first one is a little bit hard because when I started video editing, YouTube wasn't really it wasn't what it was now. So I just figured everything out myself when I was younger. But yeah, for now, mainly what I want to do is I want to make tutorials that are so easy to understand that if you're just opening Premiere Pro for the first time, you can create a hologram, like the hologram thing.
Yeah.
I think that is very important to me, because I think that video editing can be very overwhelming. And I just try to balance it a little bit between like the basic stuff, like what you need to know in order to edit videos, but also the cool and the fun effects that everyone wants to do, but they're like, I could never do it. And then I show you that, yes, you can.
There you go.
That's a great approach, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. And so from the community that we have on YouTube, give us a couple of names that have inspired you or that you like watching, that, you know, you're always trying to kind of achieve that same level?
That's a good question. The funny thing is, someone else asked me this question and didn't know the answer, and I still thought about it, and I still kind of. So the people that I never miss an upload from, maybe I should approach it that way.
Yeah.
Because of course, like I'm trying to figure out my own style and also my own storytelling style.
Mm-hmm.
What I would say is that. I never miss an upload from Matt Diavella because I think his storytelling is very much on point.
Phenomenal, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I, of course, love Peter McKinnon's video. I think that just, especially the latest ones where he does more
Canadian power.
I have to admit, like, most of the people I watch are actually Canadian, except for Matt Diavella. But there's a thing, I've actually wondered, like, what's happening? And then
I'll tell you what happens around here. It's too damn cold most of the year.
Yeah.
We have to stay inside and we have to do stuff. So, you know what?
Exactly.
We got to get creative. That's what happens. That's all.
That's actually what Daniel Scheffer, I don't know if you know him, I think that's his name. Yeah, that's what he said. He was like, it is so damn cold here and it's dark all the time in the winter, so we just start editing. And
Exactly.
Yeah. Nothing else to do.
I guess that's it, because I also really like to watch Becky and Chris. I think their stuff, especially their helicopter series, was really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wouldn't say that there is, I mean, I would love to be on the same level as them, I guess, because those are people that I really admire.
Well, I would say you're very much there. So, you know, don't sell yourself for less. No, your quality of videos are quite spectacular. And I honestly, I really hope that everybody that's listening or watching us, that they go over to your channel and take a peek at what you're doing. Because it's really cool. The way you're explaining things, I think it's very approachable, like you were saying. And it's very easy for anybody to kind of watch your videos and really learn the stuff. But you're also showcasing cool examples, which, you know, I really love the one that, like, things are flying up in the air and all of that. That was a good one. But, you know, in the future, do you think you're going to be doing other things as well other than the video tutorials, like vlogging or just, you know, other ideas? Do you have other plans?
I definitely have other plans. I actually touched on this in the live stream as well, where I was thinking about doing something else instead of only tutorials, because now it's only tutorials and I love doing them, but I would like to do other things as well. For example, I don't know if you've watched the video I'm Not Good Enough that I did. It's more like a storytelling video, a vlog, like a recap thing about imposter syndrome. And those are things that, like, that makes me, like, beyond excited. And that is what I want to do. So I kind of want to incorporate both of them on my channel. So spread a little bit more, broaden my channel a little bit more like that.
It's interesting that you actually mentioned that, sort of, now that you've really gotten the hang of the tutorials, you want to kind of like now expand again, because it seems like that's a similar case with a lot of, like, I don't know if you know, like Maddie Hapoya and even Peter McKinnon, like, that seems to be one of the best ways that you really kind of like hone in on your editing skills through tutorials, by really kind of challenging yourself every day. And then as I think you're sort of getting to that point in your like video making career now, it's like getting to the point where it's like, okay, I got the hang of this. Now it's time to move on from tutorials onto kind of like the bigger, more, I don't know, cinematic style, whether it be vlogs or kind of like storytelling that you've already kind of started to dabble with. So that's super interesting. But one question I do have for you is, it's all fun and good to talk about, oh yeah, I want to do this, I want to do that, but coming from sort of the side of actually doing it, talk to us a little bit about sort of your weekly routine or your workflow of how you get, because even before we started recording, we were talking about having those moments where it's like, oh, sometimes you lose a bit of like that kind of creative, I don't know, step or whatever. It's like, how do you kind of get over that? And what do you do or what do you tell yourself to like kind of keep consistent with all the content that you're coming out with?
Yeah, so that is actually why I also want to broaden my channel a little bit more, because what I said in the live stream as well is that I love making those tutorials, but I've experienced that I am in this routine now, and I kind of want to change things up and make it a little bit more exciting. Without, I'm not saying that I don't like making the tutorials, but like just the kind of like a change of scenery almost, that you just start doing something else. But yeah, my workflow, I'm still working on a good workflow, to be honest, like a good weekly routine, because now I'm just like, I'm filming on one day or I'm filming on the other day, and I just make sure that everything is done on time. But I don't really have, I'm really striving to get like more of a weekly routine with videos. But I'm honestly, to be honest, I'm not there yet. I'm just winging it mostly.
Okay. Well, I mean, honestly, creativity comes in great bursts too, right? Like,
It's funny because I mean, I'm thinking about ourselves. I mean, we've
exactly.
been
We were
winging it
talking about it
forever.
Like, sometimes it's the best way.
That's like what we do.
Yeah.
That makes work-life balance so hard, because I feel like, especially with creativity, like I cannot force myself to be creative at 8 a.m. until 5 p.m. I cannot, like, sometimes it just comes at night and then you're editing all night until 3 a.m. But then the next day is kind of, you know, screwed up already.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
That is actually one of the things that I'm right now trying to figure out how I can manage all of this, because I just, like I say, it just comes and goes, and then I just work whenever I want to work. So that's going to be nice, and sometimes like 12 hours a day, but that's not sustainable either. So I'm really trying to figure that part out.
So what would you advise, like somebody that's watching us or listening to us right now and has had this idea, I want to start a YouTube channel, and you know what, I'm going to do it now. What would your advice be? Like a couple of tips for that person that's starting off now, 2020, New Year resolution, they're going to start a channel.
Okay, so here's a funny story. I told myself in 2018, this time, I'm going to start a YouTube channel in 2019. I uploaded a few videos and I was like, no, I'm not feeling it. I wasn't in the right headspace. So I quit. And that is why I consider June like my actual start, because it feels like my actual start. And I unlisted the videos also. It wasn't right. And that is actually the first thing that I would ask the people that want to start a channel is like, why do you want to start a channel? Because I think that a lot of people, like, it is very almost not really romanticized, but in a way it kind of is like, oh, I want to start a YouTube channel, I want to be a YouTuber, this and that. But trust me, it's a lot of work. You really want to make sure that if you start a YouTube channel, you start it for the right reasons. Because if you want to start it because you want to grow and you want to make money, you're probably going to burn out, because the cash is not coming in that soon. You know, you have to have a very long breath.
And it's very time consuming. I think for most people at home that haven't started their channel and are thinking about it, really take that in consideration. I mean, we see it on our podcasts and all the videos that we do as well. It is time consuming, you know. And I think a lot of people disregard that, and they just think about, I'm going to be famous on YouTube, forgetting that there's like millions of people already doing this. And it's not that easy anymore. I mean, if we were talking 10 years ago, probably easier. Nowadays, it's much harder. All right. So anything that we should be expecting for 2020? Any special? Are you going to be doing more live streams? I really like that one. Are you going to continue doing that?
Yeah, I'm going to be doing more live streams. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it every week, right now it is every other week. So I'm very excited about my next one, which will be, well, I can say this week, but it's not going to
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was great. It was great by the
It was a great one, right?
Yeah,
I love when
so
Gizmo
good.
did that thing.
Yeah, you know, when it was amazing.
It was great, yeah.
But we might join you with the live streaming as well. We've been kind of planning all of that and trying to get all the equipment ready because we want to do live podcasts. So that's going to be an interesting one to jump into. It's a little bit more difficult than we anticipated when it
Yeah.
comes to getting all the tech to work together and
Too
all
many
that.
wires.
This is okay because we're just recording it, we'll edit it, and we'll post it after. But when you're doing it live, it's a little bit more complicated.
Yeah.
Yeah,
than
that was
this.
actually my first experience as well. I was like, oh, I can't really edit anything out. Like whatever I say,
Yeah.
and I do a lot of word vomit. Like I say things and like, what am I saying right now? So it's definitely a challenge,
Now,
but it's a fun one.
Speaking about language, English isn't your native language, is it?
No.
So have you thought it's Dutch? So have you thought about doing a YouTube channel in Dutch?
Well, I think personally, I don't know. I never really thought about it. The thing is for me, I studied, like my study was in English as well. And I have a lot of international friends. So for me, for some reason, I was just like, I'm going to do it in English. It just makes more sense. And I don't know. I haven't even thought about doing it in Dutch, to be honest. I don't know.
I totally understand because I mean
Yeah.
we were having this conversation because my native language is Portuguese, so I was thinking about debating about doing a second channel in Portuguese, and I kind of went through the same situation I guess you're going through with I don't know if it's worth us doing two things. You know, it's already hard enough to do one.
Yeah.
You know, and in order to do this the second language, I think it's going to be kind of crazy. So I get you. I understand you. You're good. All right. Lila, thank you so much for being here with us in the Creative Spin podcast, and hopefully we'll continue, chit-chatting in our Twitters and Instagrams and YouTubes and all of that. We'll keep on staying connected, and again for all of you guys at home, check the description below.
100%.
All of the links are going to be there, so just follow. Don't forget to subscribe to Lila's channel, to our channel too, right?
I mean, if you'd like.
If you guys like it, I mean, sure, why not? It's just hitting that
Yeah,
button.
you're
right? I
here
mean,
already.
Yeah, exactly. You're there. You're
Regret
watching
it. You
us.
won't regret it.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
It is what it is. All right, Lila, thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you so much. I'm sorry about the thing.
Oh, that was great. We're gonna put that live online.
All right.
All right.